Hello and welcome. My name is Trismegistus, and I've been rearranging my flat today, or started it the other week, but doing some proper furniture moving this morning, include basically this machine, which is why this camera is not set up properly at all. I've actually elevated it a lot higher than it was before. So I think I need to rethink my framing, because that's not quite right. Because it's chopping off my shoulder. Yeah, okay. Enough fiddling about. So are we getting sound through? Sound is through. It seems to be a bit loud. According to that. Let's just knock it down by 5%. Just a little tweak. Yeah, that'll do. Right, off we go. So, I haven't even loaded the game up. I've been dashing to get this in. We're doing blueprints today. And the plan is to rethink the walls. Is that all working? It's all working. Yes, I kind of had a really good think about what I was doing with the walls, and I don't think this is sensible, or what these are intended to do. The intention is that it's a sort of like a way of doing a mega base, really. So having a really ostentatious, over the top set of walls is not really in the spirit of what I'm doing. So we need to rethink, basically. I like some of the concepts I did, and what I'm going to do is make sure I've got blueprints and then basically transfer them over to the so that's perfectly matched, isn't it? Yeah. Over to the blueprint series. So I'm going to pop these in here and we'll have a good rethink, basically. I'm just going to chuck them all in, I think. Just need to there's no point keeping that one there. I should have prepped this beforehand, so let's keep that one and that one and that one. I think that's all of them. I might just blueprint the whole thing, just so that I've sort of got it. And if there is any tweaks I did or what have you. In fact, yeah, let's just do that. If we blueprint the whole thing, including the tiles, train sort names, and trains, and we'll just stick that in my blueprints as well. I'm going to move them down so that I know they're separate. It's very difficult for me not to play Factorio. There's like loads of other games that I want to play, and I'm sort of could play because I spent money on them, sort of thing, and I enjoy them. But it's always really difficult for me not to just spend my entire week playing Factorio. Right. So what I need is to have a think about it in terms of where I would be when I would be expanding the walls. So what I've got is, I think I'm just going to delete it all. Just picking up the fish. El Fisho. And then we have to do that. And that. Them. Is this... Oh, it's not really big enough, this. Let's go and find somewhere that's probably a bit more spacious. I can probably wipe out... Because I'm in creative, aren't I? Yeah, have I got a wand? I have got a wand. So if I do that, does that... Yeah, it does. Okay. So if I just create a nice big sort of space here. Just completely wipe free. Absolutely everything, and let's get rid of some... Just in case there's pollution. And they get upset. Just as well. And that. Take that out. Okay, so we've got a nice big play area there. Yeah, that'll do. Stash down there. Okay. We go from here. Right, so the idea would be, in reality, what I would be doing is I would already have what are they called then? Complex. It's even this. It's not really what I should be doing because it's got concrete in it and all that sort of stuff. You know, and to use this blueprint, I've got to have landmines. And would I really manufacture landmines in a mega base? What I would definitely have. In fact, actually, let's take a copy. One of these. Was that the latest one? I think it's the latest one. Excuse me. So, great copy. So put it in there. Yeah, so that we can work with that. So we would be working on defense is simple. And what we would definitely have is, you know, because this doesn't have, yeah, it's up, I do it via upgrading, so, where is it? Okay. And the idea, I think, is this the same? So if this was here, is that what I've done? Yeah. So the idea would be that's the repeating unit. And then we use the upgrade planners. Which are that one? No. That one? No. No. So the grader. Yeah, because I haven't got any of them on me. Oh no, it's because I haven't got my... No, I have. Why you not do that? Oh, that's not turned on. Cool. So, the idea being that there would be... Let's just pop in these. This is me sort of simulating what you know, what I would have built. And what we could do is we could add on a train line system to this. And then the idea would it be expanding from here, because this is a bit faffy. This system, I say that, does it give the sort of coverage that I would need? Because we could have an upgraded version of it like that, that's got lasers in. You know, increases the firepower. And there's actually, there should be that one there. That upgrades all the requests. And we could use the gate, you see. As like the exit points for the eventual train thing. But yeah, so I would have built, I say, what I think would probably work well would be if I design a train system that supports this, because this has obviously now got themes on it. So how about we simulate a corner here, and we'll then have more straight bits. I think that's right. We'll have to upgrade all this as well. And then we do a diagonal. Actually, let's make this a bit bigger. Oops. Let's make this really, really, really big. Yeah. And then for diagonal. Does it just fit on? I can't remember. I don't think there's a transition thing. Oh, there's a concave one. Let's make the assumption I would have made sure that there's only, well, that is convex or whatever, corners for the mega base. And actually, you know, we would want to avoid. I don't know why it's doing it with regular bots. I don't even know. Oh, I guess because I was putting them into that system, wasn't I? So what we really want is the mega bots to do it like that. It's instantaneous. So what we'd have, you see, is some kind of roboport network. We'll just put them. Oops. Just put them there. And then, you know, it gets more complicated with the diagonals because you've got to cover the things, but you don't want them sticking out. So we'll just assume SA. Because I need to cover the chests. Oh, this is the first thing we could define, actually, is some kind of additional roboporting, as I say. It works with a train system. Oh, that's not enough, is it? Works with a train system. Of some description. It doesn't have to be there, but you know. So I think the first thing is that we need a new version of this straight plus laser that is the upgraded one and has the proper requests in. Speaking of which, if we just, oops, where's that? Make sure these are all the right requests, because it's requesting in piercing ammo. Oh no. It's only that one. Side. Yep, so indeed. The request for that one. The build for that one. Yeah, so we need a version of this that is upgraded to APM, to uranium ammo, and is also adds on extra lasers, probably a second level of wall, and also adds in trains essentially. So it's like an upgraded version of this basic wall system. So let's just sort of build it as we would imagine it would be. I think actually I'll slot the lasers in here for this. And then a square corner. I suppose has more gun turret coverage. So yes, if this is... So it's made up of that. Let's just do that. So let's ignore the concave. And that. And then the gate piece is that. So, first thing, Because this would have medium poles on it. That's a little risky, that one. So it might be better if it moves to there. It's risky because if they come in and gob at that, that'll be one of their first targets. And then, so we sort of double up walls. Obviously we need the upgrade. Well, we need to replace these requesters, and it should request in raining that way. 20 or so. As well as using fast inserters. It's just... Wait, was that the one I did? I did both of them, okay. Far too efficient. Yeah, you're not going to let me do that, okay. Put those in. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Oh. As well. No. Skirters. Nice. And then, well, I think. Oops. Now, I don't know. So when regular day, so I had it on like that. It's basically the point where right. What did I do here? Because this is right. I did. It's basically behind it, isn't it? So it's that one. It's not right though, is it? Would it not be... on that diagonal? So let's do it a straight bit. Yeah, it's got to be that it overlaps like that one, or isn't it? Which means that it should be in front of it. The diagonal walls always have to be thicker because of the weird way that Factorio's thingy works. Oops, I forgot. That's not how you do your things. Set grid. No. Relative. Okay. No. No. No, that's not right, is it? Blooming diagonals. I hate trying to snap diagonals. So why am I bothering? Oh, you have to do it around the small one. Okay, but the basic point is that it's okay if it's like that. I think, because then that's fine there. Say if we've overlapped it by one there, probably two, probably one. That would be in front. And then same on that side. Yeah, okay. So this being in front is fine. Does it tile to itself? So it would be there. Yes, that's fine. Except that that needs to be there as well, doesn't it? So that it's properly doubled up. Okay. I think those are right. So yes, we need to do a copy of this. Not a copy of that, no. No, yeah, copy that one. Copy that one. And we select that. But it needs to be 7, minus 1, I think. Alright, no, it needs to be around the power pole, doesn't it? Yeah. And then the diagonal. That doesn't look right. No, it should be around the power pole again. So we need an offset. We need the offset to be not -5, -1. Wait. Oh, did it add an offset? Weird. Didn't it? Let's do that for the moment. Oh, it's halfway through the lasers. Okay. Yes, the other way around, doesn't it? So it does need an offset. It's 1 and 1. There we go. And then this one is this one. And that doesn't have a tiling because it's just a one-off thing. Okay, so that's our sort of upgraded version of the wall. Oh, no it isn't. We need to do the fence as well. Gate. Bin that off. No. So we need a copy of that one. Okay, so hopefully we've got that right. So we need to edit these further, but these are the starting point. So we would have the double thick wall, which has uranium request in it. It's that one. That one. That one, why does that poke out of the edge line? Huh. bit odd. It doesn't really matter, but it's fine. And then the idea, well, we need a has to connect to a string map. Then we have a gate, overlaps. So let's just check all of these. Check a random selection of these. Radio memory requests in. Yeah, cool, excellent. So that's an upgraded set of these. Then we need to add in. So I basically need to recreate this. So start there. Go. Has to be up with them. It's weird. It will tile when it's the same thing. You know, it's not putting down anything new. It'll still tile then. But if it's different, it won't tile it. I'm not sure that makes sense, but I know what I mean. So it is different technically because it's got one less or slightly different positioning of power pole. Yeah, power pole. But that's fine. Okay, so what we then need to basically do is have some kind of arrangement of rail, etc. So I don't know that we couldn't use this as an inspiration. Up there. So what I need to think about really is if I'm also using my rail system, which is that one. Oh. That one there. Then it should work in conjunction with it. Well, I don't mind it being special rails and stuff, but you know, where we've got like this, you know, straight rail and corners and stuff, I should use those to drop off, you know, to build a railway around the edge of the. What should I call it? So we have diagonals as well, you see. So I'm thinking diagonals are. It's fine having the upgrade, but I think if we use diagonals, we would actually probably do just the one, just to give it more reinforcement. So I don't think we want to try and do diagonal railway stations or anything. You know, so instead of that straight corner, we actually do diagonal corners, basically, so it would be a diagonal there. But yeah, so I guess the question is, because this was all me trying to fit it into a particular shape and all that sort of stuff, do I want to bother with that? The real key is kind of getting it to sort of fit into the size, essentially. So, just curious how many wide it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14. And obviously that's 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if it was to come off there, what would it end up looking? So that's parallel with that one then, you see. Because what we really need to do is connect this to both sides. Pretty sure I haven't got one of them, we could just check. Like a single into double thing. A siding style station, basically. It doesn't have to be on this side, but... And that's, you know, that's the closest, but... It's a different sort of thing. Wait, did I see it then? No. Yeah, so it needs to connect to both sides. Something like that. Do I do it? Nice if it looks pretty as well. But I prefer. Creates a lot more junctioning that though, doesn't it? Does it? A slightly wider junctions, I guess. But this fits in a single rail segment, basically. Yeah, so between there, this adding on fits on. Is it roughly even? Is it roughly central? We've got two tiles, and that's where it's connecting. Two rail bits. I suppose I should count that actually. 1, 2, and then that's where it's junctions ending. Yeah, so it's roughly in the middle as well. So then if we sort of take a piece and flip it there. Don't appear to have kept that even, do I? That's got 3 and that's got 2. It's because there's a single extra straight rail. That gonna matter. What did this end up looking like? No, there's plenty of room, I think. Yeah, just as a... distance. Oops. Okay. So, signaling for this. It's a left-hand drive system, isn't it? So the train would be coming in... Well, the point of what I've done is I could have a train come in either direction, but... How do I want to think about it? Probably easiest to think about it as a... You know, clockwise. Okay, so if it's clockwise, then the station would be sort of there, maybe. How many carriages and etc. can you get in? So I could fit 4 in. Do we have a signal it? Oh, it's not very... That'd be 3 to fit that in as a... Yeah, between those two. Do I care about that? I don't think I do. So actually we could have there, couldn't we? And then yeah, that's not too horrendous. So we would want a regular signal there, I guess. And then what? We need... So if it's clockwise, why would it ever be doing this? It wouldn't, would it? Because if it's clockwise system, it's left-hand drive, it will only ever want to leave on that side. If it tried to leave on that side, it's completely wrong. This, it would never be using that piece of track, because in order to use that track, in order to pull into this station, it would have to be going backwards. Yeah, that's right. So, it simplifies the signaling quite a bit. Because all we're looking for is... Where do I want to place? So if that's the... So this is just going through, isn't it? No, left-hand drive. Wait. I got it wrong, didn't I? I've removed the wrong piece. Because actually... If it wanted to come in from that way, it'd have to be coming in that way. And I haven't got room to do a full circle. Oops. In which case, I could make this quite a bit longer, this station. I'm just thinking from a point of view of, you know, wall expanding. We sort of proved in the other one that we needed loads of drop-offs. So while the initial purpose of this is to drop off yeah, ammo and the regular stuff, we want to have... So there'd be basically two trains that go here. Well, we could do the thing again with the secondary station. Yeah, just behind it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, we could always have... If 4 proved better, we could have a second station here or something. There, say. For an artillery wagon to turn up to, maybe. But yeah, point is, we've got all this room to play with. Joining. Actually, that should probably be a chain if... So we don't want it blocking it. Yeah, cool. So it's like a special segment of track. I suppose I called these anything to be useful to know. Just, I mean, this is really, really faffy, basically. And we've got oil here and all sorts of stuff, but... logistics train and all that sort of stuff. I didn't call them it. Okay, so we've now got loads of them. Loads of everything. Double-sided unloading. All sorts of wonderful things. It's a signal there. Some idiots put a signal there. In which case, that's what we do. Okay. What did I use here? Yeah, storage boxes. So that's a sort of maximum number of drop-offs. With whatever type of inserter we're using, whichever filter, does mean that it doesn't quite fit. It's fine, because it was similar to what we did. Oh, I did that differently. But here, okay. So it just unloads directly into the robo port. Doesn't fit though, does it? Okay. Just put it on this side then. Did it literally just unload directly into the robo port? I could probably just copy this, couldn't I? But yeah, I need to work out with these how much and what I need to unload. I do wonder if I do have a separate, say, military train. Because it's ammo that really, you know, is the thing that you send around a lot. You know, artillery ammo. So having a artillery train also has a carriage with your guns and your bullets in is usually a good way to go. Do it the other way around. There's plenty of room, isn't there? And then we could have, you know, when it's time to upgrade, you know, when it's time to expand, it, you know, it can be a full 6-lane train, and we can have other unloading. Say if this is where artillery sits, for example, wherever, you know, that's where the artillery train is, or what have you. It's just on a separate system, really, and then, even though it wouldn't be quite aligned, I'm sure, because it never is, we even have it unload into a box and it puts it in there. Yeah, whatever the train alignment ends up being. Just have a look actually. So if there was a secondary, I suppose that's a point. We would lose a couple of boxes then. Where would that end up being? You're being weird. You're being weird. Why are you not showing properly? So I guess it would have to be there. No, it needs 3, doesn't it? Because it needs the extra loco. Ammo wagon. Artillery wagon. Could be night side. And we can both unload correctly. Also do a level corner. Can't. Yeah, that would work. What about on this side? So if this was what? It's direct unload. Yep. Oops. And that unloads the ammo. Then I say we could still have some up here. But doing other unload. Yep, seems legit. Flashing is driving me nuts. So let's think about that rework. So yeah, I think with the corners it will be, in which case that one's probably irrelevant now, isn't it? So when we do a corner, that. So the graded version is that one. It goes back to a straight bit there. Would that be right? Because it's up where the flashing is. Yeah. So when we've got a corner, it's that sort of corner. Rather than this sort of. Okay. So that is the furthest away. Right? Furthest away the roboport could be. We could we? Yeah, we could use the train line to, bring the roboports around, basically. That work? So, yes and no, because it doesn't quite work on the corners, does it? Because it would have to be right the way up there, which doesn't fit. don't know if this is... So if I move this in by one set, and then I was just wondering, I'm not sure they align. Oh no, they do. So as long as I position it just right, I can line this up with the chests, or rather line the wall up with Robocop coverage. But we do need something here, don't we? Where would that be? So if that's the perfect corner, it needs to be there. It's a special one. I could also make it a radar one, just so that it's, you know, we've always got a radar at the core. Straight rail, straight rail, straight rail. I'm going to get rid of the gate. Sort of redo this, basically. So I'm not 100% convinced when I did the rail at the gate that it was like a good match. With the size of the, you know, the pieces. I suppose that could be on there, could it? Does that help? No. I suppose I don't technically need quite that much anyway, but we want them on the same side. Yeah, I think if I move... Can I move that? I can't. Can't remove that. Well, I could move that, I think. Yeah, it's still connected as well. And then that can be on that side. I suppose it's always on that side of the thing, isn't it? It would be there and there. I mean, maybe it should still be there and there. And this can be a add-on. Yeah, so I think I'm saying there's going to be two special rail pieces, basically. Two new versions of the straight rail. One being... could be that. Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? So snip that. But... height of 60... Alright. So it'd be Right, let me put it in, obviously. Will that? Yeah. Yeah. So we basically then have special rail. We need special rail corner. Yep. I can build it around. We've then also got this siding piece. Let's just blueprint that. So we've got it. Special. Give it a special label. Okay. And then we'll be using this. Extend the network like that. And then we have a corner. Okay. And then the actual, you know, if I'm building the gates, something, not be doing, I might just be grading or whatever. But this goes here. How do I find the corner? Hmm. Where would you line up with? Anything like that? That was there. Right. Oops. No, that is right, isn't it? Oh, it's right there. Is it right here? No. Not far off them. Oh, that's wrong, isn't it? Because, yeah. Tricky to work out where the corner is. So I'm wondering if I just incorporate the corner into the actual blueprint. Essentially use the corners as the sort of anchor points. Yeah, I quite like that idea. Does it work? Probably is, I think. Can't flip it. Would I be flipping it? Oh, it doesn't match, does it? Which is probably the problem I'm having on the other when I was doing it before. If this was one piece longer, one rail piece longer, would that help? Don't know if it's there. No. Presumably that's because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 7 wide. Which is a prime number, which means maths gets a bit wonky. Okay. That suggests I actually need to tweak this. I mean, maybe it should be more that... That help? I say, because I could make it so that when I do the corners, I don't do... Let's put this back in. It's the one overlap, just not do the one overlap. It's like that. Would that help? Because it then makes it one tile closer. Looks like that. Does that help? I don't know. You can see. So if we redo this blueprint. It's not quite right there, is it? It's now not aligned on the other direction. Let's have a look, see. 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. 10, 15, 16, 17. So this would all need to move up one closer as well. Which wouldn't work because then these would be overlapping. The lasers. Got it? Oh no, we could push it up. No, that would work. That'd be okay. Because it would basically mean moving the whole thing one tile up. Something there. In fact, that's what I think I've accidentally done, isn't it? You complaining about? Oh, it's just over there. Need to redo this anyway, so. I'm feeling I'm sort of chasing my tail now. So if I move it one way, it will crash into the other, and because the piece itself is not actually like the same size. So if this was here, you see. Except I need to redo it, don't I? Let's leave the belt on, actually. Oops. So. Right. So if you know there, see, but I suspect it's going to be one tile off again. Yeah, see, it doesn't it overlaps. because I've effectively transferred the problem from one to the other. I bet the real problem is in here. I imagine this is probably not actually... Putting 4 of those together, I'm guessing, probably doesn't actually make a circle. It's kind of the simplest way of doing that. Yeah, you've got a single piece in there. That makes it a slightly different size, I think. Fine. Oh no, it does rotate. It's quite cool. Yeah, it's to do with a mismatch between the size of the blueprints. I'm just wondering if I can fix this up. Yeah, see, it's never going to tie up, basically. Which is annoying. Is this now 5, 10, 17, 5, and then it's 10, 15, 17. So they're the same size. But not the same size. Why didn't that work then? Why does that mean? So that would be overlapping there. Is it that? So here, end of the turret is perfectly aligned with the power plant. Okay. So we take this blueprint, we run up here. I want to see, does it align with that? I suspect it doesn't. Yeah, there you go. So it's one off. But if I did a second one, would it not then come back into alignment? Wait, I did something weird then. Actually, next one. No, it's off again, isn't it? That's the. What happens there then? What am I down on? So the. Oh, it's here that I've made the error. Okay. Ignore that. So it's the turret of the second one, with that one there. It's lined perfectly with that power. So it's the right hand side of the blueprint. It's become the left hand side. Wait, because the blueprint is too wide, isn't it? Oh yeah, it's in the middle now, completely wrong. Is it correct? I think I keep lining it up with the... turret. No, that's okay. Why has it become... It's driving me nuts. Right, so you get your power pole. Your power pole. It's aligned with that turret. Perfectly aligned. We then take this, because we know that that's a repeat point and that's a repeat point. The blueprint. Put that there. So that's the start of the blueprint. So this is the repeat point. Oops. We're now next to the blueprint. And this is the repeat point. We're now moving it over. So it's moving over each time, isn't it? Yeah, it's because one's an even number and one's an odd number. Oh, very annoying. The reason it matters is because if I'm going to have a system that's repeatable, you know, from remote builds, I shouldn't have to come in and do manual corrections. So, you know, we can't come in and do manual corrections. So I can't just like add in an extra turret or, you know, misalign it in some way or something like that. So I think this corner needs to be completely rethought, is where I'm ending up. So I need some way of making sure that this area ensures that they're properly aligned. But then it's not going to matter, is it? Because as I build turrets out, it's always going to end up misaligned. Because it's this blueprint that doesn't work, as it were. The straight one. Instead of being left, it's in the middle. And then it's at the right. And then it's off there again. It's out again. Again. Was it the left one that was on? Yeah, I lined up the left one with the power pole. Oops. So we've got to go all the way to there before the left one realigns with the power pole. So that's 1, 2, 3 and a half. It kind of makes sense when you think about it, because of it being 7. Before we hit the repeat point, which is not good. I think where I'm ending up now is that we have this station system, and then I need to come up with a new blueprint for the straight wall, so that this is like the upgraded version. And the corner effectively then doesn't matter. That, you know, I was messing about with that diagonal. It's whatever it was. Regular corner, normal corner. And I just sort of put these in a place that will fit, essentially. Because there's plenty of space there. So this is a blueprint that, you know, I can just put in and work around what I've got for my initial walls. And then when I get into the expansion territory, we have to shift to a completely new set of blueprints. Which is annoying. Which also probably means I need the corner doubled up corner one back again. So I can just upgrade that. I could always replace it with that, it's not. But this diagonal, basically, is just the roboports to provide there, and I just make sure they're close enough when I'm doing it. Okay, so we need to get rid of, not that, them. Don't need any of these walls and stuff. No, we didn't want the roboports, you did. Oh, we don't need the inserters, so it's just the rail, the signals, power poles, roboport, and the laser. Radar. And I say I just sort of fit it round. And then I can put this wherever I need to as well, because it lines up with X number of roboports. And I suppose at that point I am upgrading a wall that could be higgledy-piggledy all over the place anyway. Yeah, okay. That took a while to establish that. No. So it's not ideal, but it is what it is. So what I think we need to work on now, 720. I think we need to work on now. I suppose that's the other point. It needs connecting to the main system somehow, doesn't it? So maybe I would want it closer anyway. So we sort of make this close enough to or put the rail in, I suppose, would be actually how we would be doing it. So we're adding the rail to an existing wall system. Graded. Okay. Makes some sense. Just thinking whether I have a power pole connector as well on this, so make sure everything's nicely connected up. A good sort of place for that would be. But it needs a radar as well. Just there. Well, it probably have one already. But belt and braces, belt and braces. Excuse me. Right, so let's have a look, see how I did all my logic. Okay. So I'm minusing basically. How about I just copy this? More business. Right, let's put the training. So let's do 50-50. I should have a little bank of combinators there doing that stuff. What about this thing? so I'm just sticking them in a chest basically. So let's copy that. Bit where? Let's pop it there for the moment. So I could take that. No, didn't mean to do that. What was it? Minus 40, I think. So be little argubots at minus 40. And then constructor bots at minus 40 as well. Pair packs minus 90. Okay. Just trying to think what I actually want to deliver on this track, because it's probably not doesn't need to be 3 carriages. What did I have on the other one? Let's just go and grab that. So. Need to do something with artillery. And ammo. And I've got all of these. Be nice to break them up a bit more. So we've got the turret. Well, I don't need turrets. I guess there's lights. We're not going to be doing that. We're not doing them though, but we are doing these. So we've got fast inserters, got quest chests, big power poles. Questionable where we're using them. Or they'll be in attack range. I mean, maybe there's that one. We need them for extending anyway. Lamps, yes. Let's spread them out a bit. So, we could add the 2 turrets. And there. 49. Yeah. And then we could do, say, the walls. And that on there. And 4. I do need to reserve some space, I guess. There's going to be the signals for the other stuff. Actually, ammo can't be on there, can it? Because that needs to be on a separate system. So let's move these over. What I set it to? I set it to 500. 15. Because it's a separate train, basically. Auxiliary train. So this is my bot train. On the bot train. Set these two. Couple 100 maybe? Stacks of... No. Put stuff in there, but... why bother? What have I forgotten? I gotta do all of them. That's why I love now. Maybe this... Oh, hello, Flash Go On. I'm on peaceful mode and I'm only up to green science. Apologies if you posted that a long time ago. I've been so wrapped up in this. Only green science yet. I have a large spitter 10 blocks from my main green circuit maker. All right. Sounds like you're going to have to get some combat on then. Apologies if you posted that a while ago. It's so wrapped up. I didn't see it. I sort of assumed I didn't, because I know it's a lot quieter over summer as well, so I sort of not sure anyone was watching. But do you need any? Yeah, it's large spitter 10 bucks on the main green circuit. So if they're on peaceful, you can kind of cheat it if you need to, because what you can do until things actually have ammo or power. So turrets, they won't react to until they start shooting at them, basically. So you can put a whole load of turrets down, within range. So, block them in, basically. And then just run around with ammo and fill absolutely all of them up. So you get a massive weight of fire. So you chuck up. Actually got much ammo. You would chuck a load of ammo in. I haven't got the yellow ammo. And it all just instantly starts firing, so you would literally come up and go like that, whack it all in, and suddenly they're firing. Or alternatively, you can do it with lasers. You wouldn't have lasers actually at green, but you can do the same with lasers when they're on peaceful. You can basically put them in, because although they will, because peaceful means only attack when attacked. That's what it sort of actually means, and you can basically stick a load of lasers in, and then with power and stuff, and then just connect them, and suddenly they'll all jump into life. But yeah. Right, so. Yes, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good day. Let me think. Got those from there. That one. I could maybe put... I mean, it doesn't matter if I have loads of combinators, does it? Who cares? Put them there. It doesn't really matter if I end up with combinators without any messages. Yeah, it is. So, how about we put the power on there? What did I set it to? 49. 49. As well. Actually, yeah. Quester chests. And inserters. So these are all the things that would be in easy attack range, basically. So you get wave abiters come in, you know, they could hit the turrets, they could hit the power poles, they could hit the lights, the requester chests, and the inserters. In theory, they could possibly hit the big power pole. You would hope they would get, because this isn't actually the right one, is it? What have I been using there? That should have an extra. Unless I didn't properly update it. No, that should have an extra laser turret on it. I've not copied it across properly. So this, like this, should actually have extra laser. In fact, maybe if I put it on both sides. Right. Then I need to offset it. You know. Cool. So that's that. We know that that's a separate system. So this would be a separate train here. Don't know, a bit of fluid wagon up. So it's a separate train. This train here then just needs these few things in. How many actually is it? Because does this train really need to be so big? It doesn't, does it? Because I've got loads of room in there as well. Because what I'm wondering is, it maybe this station is the expandy station. So when I'm wanting to do an expansion, this is where it comes and drops off the expansion stuff, and perhaps the expansion stuff is all at the top and it's the bottom set, which would be much smaller. Yeah, I think I quite like that idea. So we have, oh, it didn't quite work then, is it, because of that power pole? I say that. Oh, I shouldn't have done that, because let's just put that there, so I don't have to recopy it. So if this, so if there's a station there, what does it look like? Because it's not going to be aligned with the. Oh, that's okay. They can still get in there. So, oh. That, oh, I bet I undid it. That, no, it's lost the recipe as well. Oh, that's annoying. Because it's not very much, you know, we're going to need to unload. Put another one there as well. It's more than that though, isn't it? More than 5. I could move this up. So there. Which has broken all the wire connections, but that doesn't matter. So that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. How many things am I dropping off? We've got those 3, which is those 3. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 7. Could I pare this down? Well, we could get rid of gates. And I was iffy about large power poles anyway. We can drop all of them off in the top set. So we've got 4 then. 5, 6, 7. So if we unload, say, what? In fact, probably better of a stack filter on this one. So if this is walls that we unload, 180 is 2 stacks, isn't it? So a couple of stacks of walls. Don't need to do that, do I? My logic controlling them? Yeah. Yeah, I am. Okay. Oops. So this needs to be walls. Set it on 10. And then what else? Maybe lights. So this needs to have a bunch of bots. And then stick some lights on there. Repair packs. And then a load of walls. Okay. Cool. It needs to be connected to the logistics network, which says that the walls I'll have to come and check, because that was 200, was it? And the lights would be 50. I think. So let us see what I did. Clicking on the wrong thing. So, yeah, 50 for that. 200 for that. Yeah, okay, makes sense. That makes sense. And then I need to unload. I didn't set them up. Filter on lights. So I've got the 2 turrets. Lasers. Turret is less than 50. Lasers is also less than 50. And what? So then this needs to be, say, powerhouse. Powerhouse less than 50. Chests. Rest chests. Less than 50? Yeah. And then fast inserters less than 50. Fast inserters. Rest chests. Medium electric codes. Okay. Need to wire them all up again, of course. So this I missed. I think I've... So I've wired them together. Is that because I've then wired one of them to the... Yeah, because I've wired the red to that and the green to the main system. Not 100% sure why that's wired to green. I guess it's reporting the quantities generally, isn't it? Because these are actually connected to the roboport rather than the thing. So that I've just left connected to the logistics now. Yeah, that was just... Okay. Must have worked. So that one's connecting now. And all of these need wiring up. Oh, cracking. Like that. Oh, this needs moving back, doesn't it? And in fact, that combinator would be for this station. I don't really need that there at all. Also need to wire up these bad boys. Now, am I wiring those? What have I done then? So they're just going into the green circuit network, which is just below a certain threshold. That's wired into green as well. Huh. Have to do the logic a little differently there then. Because those two are the red. In fact, therefore it's not going to work, is it? Having that big thing of combinators. But what we can do is have a couple of chests there, just to make the whole a bit better. Get a bit tidier, maybe put that in line with the combinators. Same here, I guess, because we want this set. Yeah. And these are for the expansion, so these will go here, giving some other signal. How did I put that? Out the way, to that station there. Yeah. So get rid of that. We've already got those orders. Just not plumbed in. Presumably I've wired the things into the appropriate system. Presumably. Did I cut and paste them? I must have done. No? Where are those signals coming from? Oh, it's one covering a great big list of them. Okay. Up this way. I quite like doing this because when you hit 4, you can see, what they are, as it were. And it's visible there. When you get more than that, they disappear off the end. But yeah, we need to wire this in. Oh. Green as well. And then this needs to be to green. And we'll put that on red. Just so that it doesn't confuse the wires. Just make sure I did that there as well. Yeah. And this is saying if you've got any signal that's below less than 0, input L equals 1. And that means we need to set a train limit on here and have this be an enable disable condition. Oops. For L. Greater than 1? Greater than 0. It's spitting out L equals 1 when it's saying there's not enough stuff. It's already got all of its signals, that's great. So if I just sort of fill this out, this is why I had the regular construction bots in before. So it's full. They should stop when they get to the predefined limits. See, that stopped because there's now more than 50. More than, what did I say? Well, because it's 10, it's managed to put exactly 200 in. This has now got 50 robots of both types. It's got 100 repair packs. So same again here. Oh, I need to set signals in there. So let's do. How many have we got? So we've got gun turrets. 5, aren't there? 2, 4, 5. So if I do gun turrets, laser turrets, air banks, inserters, lights, no, because lights are in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What have I missed? Oh, power pumps. And then I can just copy this down, basically. Because these trains, in theory, they're going to, you know, go flying back and forth. And I can set a condition on the other end, on the loading station, of just, once you've got more than a, because it'll keep loading them up, but once you've got more than a, you know, train's worth, I don't know how complex we can get the, because you can get quite complex conditions here, because we could say, you know, the weight condition could be a particular item, say the bots, is less than 50. So if it's got some, then go home, basically, is the signal. Would that work? Because you could do it as an OR, you see. So if any of them drop below a certain amount, and then in theory they would go to multiple, could go to multiple stations. Also put a timer on it, just, you know, an inactivity timer, in case they turn up and sort of sit there with full cargo, or don't manage to unload enough. Although they would have been sent out, only, yeah, it should be sort of self-fulfilling thing, basically. Okay, now, if I fill this up, you should see that this becomes inactive, because they've all now got Now stuff. And if I empty one, it flicks green. Although if the tray, once it's loaded it, it goes back to red. Cool. So that's all working from a logic point of view. Yeah, might be quite a complicated condition, this. I like the idea of controlling it like that. So it'll be a whole load of item counts. So it'll be repair packs. Walls. Actually, this isn't worth doing, is it? Because it's the other station. I don't know what that's called yet. Yeah. Okay. And the other train then is doing the it's doing the whole artillery thing. I've unloaded them into a box simply here. Yeah. It's got a filter thing on it because I think I was using a different one, but it doesn't need to. In fact, it's probably better if it's because you can't. For a stack of artillery shells is just one shell, so it doesn't really matter. But this is 20. I've hard limited it. That's interesting. Why have I done that? Shouldn't matter. So this is, I guess, covering the scenario where it's, had to spam out a load of shells because it's had a big colonisation. And so this turns up. I mean, it would add its own firepower in. Or I'm looking to push out maybe, or I've just done a range extension maybe on artillery, something like that. And this would come in, and it's adding in its own firepower. It's directly filling this up and filling a chest up. And then it's going away. And this, I mean, it only holds like 5. Anyway. Let's just put a load in. See what it does. See if I can get the number up to like 50 or something. I did this when I doing it the other time, and because I hadn't checked there weren't any biters in, and we suddenly got. Okay, so that's filled up to 20, and obviously that's 6 it holds. That's fine. Cool. Yeah. Thanks for that. We do also need some general storage chests, which, given we've got a sort of a spare area here, this is for, for clear walls, or it's particularly for repair packs. When they grab repair packs, they'll often just grab like 3 and only use 1, and then they come back and they can't necessarily fit them in the same robot. Or they'll just dump them in a chest. It's a bit sort of weird how it does some of the things. Okay. So that's 500, isn't it? So this is going to be purely for Or uranium ammo. And these are going to unload. Ammo, I think I might just put that on 10 as well to get nice rounding. Set that at 500. 3 stacks, 600. Which makes sense, as that's 3 round stacks. So they just unload what they can. Okay, so what condition am I using on that? And do I need to do the same? Don't think I do, because this is me coping with this squished in design. So instead I can have the same basic condition. Let's use the same method, same numbering as well. So counting the chest contents. Wait. This should really be here. No, not nicely positioned. Let's just have them there then. Oh, let's overcome that. So it's getting 5 from the artillery, so it knows it's fine. Minus 500 from the ammo. Fill this up. Assuming the bots don't go and chuck it all in there. Requesting chests, but it's good to see that that works. Oh, I didn't set the condition, did I? So this needs to be set to 1. Disable. But now greater than 0. So if I take this out of here, it goes green because it's wants more ammo. Train turns up. Away. What I do need to do if I'm going to do this, it's just occurred to me, is I need a rail signal and I need one here as well. Do we? Well, I mean, we don't. No, we don't need one there because. Oh. That was a weird noise. If a train has come to this one, then it's blocking the path basically because this train is going to be gigantically long. It might. I might double train it basically. Double tractor unit it. Because it's going to have loads of stuff in. Just to make it a little bit speedier. Is that everything? I think I'll get rid of these. Keep the powerhouse. I'll have that as like a separate thing. We'll keep the station as well. Oh, I can't do it though, can I? Because that's a point. We're going to need storage chests if we want to build that. Because we've got... I mean, it'll be a different iteration, won't it, of this? Because the idea, I'm enamoured of what I was doing before, where it's like an expandable system. We have a corner that we can put a train out of, and then we can build a sort of an extended loop, and we sort of fill that out with defences and artillery and what have you. And then we can take this whole inner loop out, and that just becomes our new border. But I think we would have to have the infrastructure as part of the first iteration. Yeah. What is wrong, though, is that it needs some kind of blocker on the back then, doesn't it? Because now I'm not... Oops. That signal doesn't work, basically. Oh, never considered putting it on backwards. Because the one that's there could not work. And let's make it symmetrical. Just the second one. I suppose I could move that. Why is there no signal there? Just trying to think if I've got anything. So I do need to build all of that, but what I'll do, I'll just sort of blueprint the whole thing, just so I've got a copy of sort of all of this, really. Oh. Why is that not working? I had this before and I got confused with why is that not? Oh, it's because I'm thinking of it as copy and paste rather than... There we go. It's been a long week and a long day. Right, so that's got all of them there, so that we know we've got all of the bits and pieces. Get rid of that because we know that's not... How are we doing it? It's got the trains on it and blah blah blah. Okay, so what we need then is a secondary system. I might just... do that as well. Make doubly sure. I might also colour this in. How about this pink? I didn't name this, did I? So this would be 40. Okay. The tricky part is that I only really want this at, like, close to the corner. I suppose I wouldn't know where the corners are until I'd finally decided how big my squares are. Yeah, so we can now, oops, get rid of that. Moaning about. Got a signal there. Don't need all on there. Right. So that's there, and then it was 2. Yeah. So this train then, is it one train with that many carriages? I suppose what would I need? This is the question. Which is what I think that's where we got up to last time we were working on this. I don't know if I answered it or not. It's just a big old bank of combinators. What are the types of things we would need? Well, let's copy them. So we need these. Like so. That one. So those are the ones we know we've got. What else would we need? There's the whole rail side of things, which would be them. And I say this is meant to be self-expanding, so it's got to have everything in. Just the raily bits. We haven't got anything dropping off storage chests. But we've got requester chests. But we don't have the various types of filter inserters. Would we need stack filters? Probably not. We know we've got fast inserters. I think we can that front. We don't have large powerhouse. We may have substations? Question mark. We need combinators and constant combinators. And we didn't have gates in the other system, so we need them. We don't need them because hopefully it would be remotely expanding, but it's a good chance that we would need gates. I guess we don't have radar either. We don't have artillery. We've got the power poles, we've got lights, we've got put the stations on. We've already got everything there. What else might we need? All of the rail bits. Roboports? Yeah, roboports. If like a bunker can remember where the heck the roboports are. Nope. There we go. Brain farts. Let's just go through the list. Would we need steel chests? No. Belts? Well, this is one of the things. What this needs, if it's to be sort of truly self-expanding, is some way of making landfill, basically, because we inevitably need to landfill in some lakes, depending on how I'd set them, or how the map was set up. But we would, you know, I guess there's a possibility we would be dropping landfill itself off in order to do an initial expansion or even a surface area out. There would be the idea of a separate system for doing the um, solar panels, etc. Which is why using, I've come back to using the same rail system, because we can just have, so if we build out, say for example you've got a bulge that we've made, put walls around it, and then basically we would deconstruct everything in the original rail system, like the original walls, say up here. So if there's a wall there, and we've done an expansion out here, we've cleared all the biters out, we put the wall around, it's come and built everything for us remotely. We then take the walls down here, we edit the rail system in order to have a central, probably, rail line, or maybe several spurs, depending how big it is. And it will just fit on, because I can just use my T-junctions and what have you to have a station coming in, and we can just have a separate type of station for building solar panels. In theory, that could also be the landfill system, but I think it makes more sense to landfill it as we're doing the bulge. I suppose they'd end up being both, really, because your bulge wouldn't necessarily have full roboport coverage across the thing. So, but yeah, the basic point is we would need a landfill system. And if we're doing a landfill system, what we need is stack inserters, assembly machines. I probably wouldn't put modules in it just to make it simple, but we would need miners. We've got power poles. We would need belt and all the various bits of, we would need belt, splitters, express, debris. We've got, what's this magnet? How the heck have you not got a chest? And how long have you been moaning? In fact, can't I just build a chest? Sort yourself out. Right. Where were I? So, if we're building a landfill thing, it's got, I suppose there is a stone patch. Oh, okay, there's one over there. Oh, there's one there. Let's dash up to that. Think about how a landfill system works. So, we would be putting miners on. And thinking about power poles. We've then got, I suppose I've got any. Yeah, there you go. Got them. And it's a slow and steady thing, isn't it? Yeah, they're just building from whatever landfill you've got, whatever stone you've got, chugging away, turning it into landfill. Probably need a lot more insertion power, wouldn't we? Probably more than that, really, but this was here, it's there. I'm just wondering if I would need splitters. I mean, we could do it so that they work in blocks of 3, basically. So, oops. Maybe there's one there and there or something. Or something. You get the point. Then need some, roboports. Hours needed. There, but this would be closer anyway. We'll anticipate, there'd be prod bonus going on, so it's not, it's not quite as wimpy as it is now. And it'll be a bigger patch anyway. That type of thing, basically. So anything there, and that's, there might be some splitter somewhere, but I'm just not putting it on there. But we've got both types of things. We've got assembly machines, we've got mining drills. Okay. Reports there. Don't need anything else. So, rail. Got both types of chests now. Got 3 types of inserter, roboports, the additional power pole types, logic network, logic stuff, extra defense things. I think that's it. I think that's the extra stuff I need. And I say, there's obviously then a separate one that does. Whatchamacallits, solar panels. Get some buffer chests to help it out a bit. Yeah, that's a separate thing. Okay. How many things is this then? So 4, 8. Guess between them that's 12. In fact, let's put them in there. So 4, 8, 12, 16 plus 6, 22. Maths. How many would we have here? We would have how many inserters have we got? 31. Okay, we're good. If I had a tractor unit there instead. $27. So that still gives them some wiggle room if I've messed something up here or forgotten some things. But I can always add this back in. So, right, crikey. So big list. Oh, that didn't work as intended. So these are the orders for the expansion system. I think I need a separate flag, which basically is something here that is like an override and allows me to basically turn on this additional stuff so that I can build all of this into the default thing, but it's not going to turn up and just fill all these chests for no real reason unless I've said, yes, I want to expand here or near, near here. Yeah. So why don't we give it a signal or something like, well, X is robots, isn't it? So E for expansion or something, maybe? And maybe also a number so that it doesn't go too weird. And I can use that, maybe check if he is. Yeah, I need to think how I'm going to do that, but basic point is. Actually, can I give it a tick or something, maybe? Oh, hello, Mia. How are you doing? Welcome back. Having a good day? So what would so if this is 0, maybe. I'm just thinking how I would actually use this. I know the dot signal is something special, isn't it? Maybe if it's set to -1, and then I can turn it to +1 whenever I want to do it, because you can do them remotely, like copying and pasting. So if well, I think you can. So if I'm there, so if I wanted to set it to, so it's on -1, and I want to set it to +1. Yeah. Maybe you can answer my train question. I still got confused and then give up on them. No worries, yeah, I can give it a go. I'm not the best with trains, but I can usually get them to work. So my question, do you have to make a circular track for them to work properly, or can you put a single engine on each side facing opposite directions to make just one straight track? You can indeed put trains. So I would call that a double-headed train. I don't know if that's the proper term, but you can indeed do trains that obviously length etc. is up to you. What you have to remember, trains can't reverse when they're in automation mode. You can reverse a train, so you can get in a train. So you can get in a train, and if you hit backwards, it'll reverse and go forwards. So you can do both. Automated trains can't do that. So you need the... If you've put it... Oh, can't rotate it. If you put it that way round, then it's effectively the same as being at the front. Or, because you can put them in the middle, you know. I've done a lot of stuff messing about with trains like that, because I think they look really cool when you have like long trains and carriages in the middle and stuff like that. But it has to be facing in the opposite direction to work like that. If you are doing that sort of system, then you need to have, if your intention is just to have one train on it, then that'll be fine. You basically, the only thing you need to remember is if it's just one train, let's say, it will go back and forth, and it won't get in. It won't have another train to get in its way. What you need to remember is that the signal that it's the station that it's heading to. So in other words, this train, if we want it to go to this station, it always has to be on the right-hand side of the railway line. So if we want it to go back and forth at this end, this forward-facing train, it has to be on the right, and for this train, it has to be on the right for that train. So it's on the left, but it's basically in the direction of travel of the train. The station has to be on the right-hand side for it to be workable. So if I put this station on, so there's no station for this train on the right-hand side, it will not be... Oh, it can do that because it's a single train. But so basically this doesn't... Now all of the stations are red because it cannot access any of them. Even though there's a train station on the line, it has to be on the right-hand side for it to be accessible. And what will happen if you do this? So I'll take that out. So you can then give this a train an instruction to go between those two and whatever your weight conditions are. A lot of people do inactivity. I personally just do full and empty. With because you can sometimes have trains that just sort of, you want them to move basically. You want them to bring whatever they've loaded. You know, if there's not very much or a station, you know, it's like almost tapped out, then you can use things like inactivity to, you know, get it to move. But I just use timers basically. So I would put, you know, two conditions on it. One would be to fill, or well, you could do and, I suppose, as well, if you depending on what you do. But, you know, say it waits for at least 90 seconds have passed, so it's either full or, you know, a minute and a half have passed, and then it will come back. It depends on what you're trying to achieve. But yeah, a train like that will go back and forth. As I say, with it being like that, you don't have to... If you've got a single train on a single piece of track, you don't need... That's it. You know, it's fine. It doesn't need signals, basically. If you really want to, you can put them on, but it does not need signals, because signals are about controlling, stopping trains crashing into each other, basically. So if it's literally just that, then that's fine. If you want to put two trains on this type of a system, you need to create like a siding, basically, so that one train can sit in a siding while the other one passes. That is fiendishly complex to get right, because basically what you're effectively creating is a situation where a train that's... Oops. I say fiendishly complex because basically what you always have to remember is that if this train is coming down here, say one train is coming down here and it wants to wait in a siding, it needs to be signalled in such a way it's basically you end up signaling it. Why I'm drawing this is effectively you end up with is this a good way of representing it? Yeah, so it's almost like having that as two separate sets. So basically you want to be able to say to this train, if it's coming this way, this entire block, in fact it's more like, oh, it's difficult to represent it, but basically if you're coming down this way, then you need to check. The basic point that I'm sort of getting towards is if you're having more than one train on a single piece of track, then you're far, far better off doing, just for simplicity's sake, doing parallel tracks. And I think you're in the Americas, so you'd probably want to do right-hand drive because you understand like how roads work basically. Because I'm in Britain, we drive on the left, so so I do it as left-hand drive just because that's how my brain works basically. But signals are the same as stations, so these trains will only obey the signal that's on the right. They would ignore, signals on the left have no relevance to them. Yeah, you basically get into a really complicated situation because essentially all of this rail here for a siding system and all of this rail here need to be mutually like 4 blocks. So rail signals create blocks, which is what this colour is showing you. This is a block and this is a block. And basically this train here coming this way would need to say, right, is there any train going that way? Any train at all? And so then you have to use a chain signal to say, well, yes, if there's a train here coming this way, and I'm coming this way, I need to check this signal to see what's happening. But I don't want the train to wait there because then they'd sit in deadlock. I want the train to wait there, so then you need a rail signal. And a lot of people struggle with rail signals, so as I say, it gets a bit complicated to do. But you would then essentially need, so you would need signal there. See if I can figure this out just quickly. So you need to come up there, but you don't want to wait. I think that would need to be a train. That's a rail. And move that up a bit. So that's then saying, don't go that way. That way. So yours would be no, that's a chain. So it gets really complicated doing sidings, and I think I've not got that right. But, basically, that's why you go two-sided rail, left and right-hand side. The other thing you have to watch out for with single, bi-directional trains, so double-headed trains, is crossing. So if you want two trains to cross over, it's actually very simple to signal that. It's literally just to say they obey the signal on the right, so you would just make it all mutually exclusive. So basically say to it, right, if there's any trains wanting to go through that junction, don't go through, basically, and just create a blocking system, because the logic of the game will just work out, which waits and which doesn't wait. You can do chain signals and stuff, but say that, given if you've got literally two trains trying to cross, and obviously it's the same, it's a diagonal thing, it's just the angle basically, but that will give you a mutually exclusive junction where only one train will be passing through. So, Clark, thank you for taking time to train. I watch videos on Reddit, but I didn't click. So I get frustrated and become the queen of pipes and bells. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with a spaghetti of pipes and bells. It's quite a fun way to play, generally. But yeah, double-headed is. And generally, that's how I play. I basically do. So very early game, when I'm literally connecting, my first copper patch to my main base, I just have a double-headed train. Just unload it at the station and what have you, and send it back and forth just to unload. And it's only later on usually that I would go, proper double-sided rail, and that's where we get into having. I'm going to say now that I've built them, I would just use my blueprints. But if you wanted to look at my blueprints or use them, they are on my YouTube channel. I think they're on my Discord as well. Actually, I think. But I know some people just like to look at blueprints or just use blueprints, but say they're all on there. They're all old. I've been updated, but the rail ones are a perfectly good system, and it's got T-junctions and crossroads and all sorts in it. Right, so that was a good distraction actually, because so we're having to think about this. Let me think. If I'm going to have all of these on, I guess I need to. Yeah, I do, don't I? What's a good order to put them in? So. Guess it'd be nice if this first one maybe had the rail stuff on. Yeah. I think because those are like for expand. Put them at the end. Because what I'm actually wondering, I've got the single tick here, is whether that's a separate thing. Because that's for 7. 7, isn't it? I guess I could. No. Well, it could actually. It could be landfill in this one. So that's then 6, which is a carriage. I'm not sure quite how I would control that. Just trying to think it through, because I could have. Because that's 4 there, isn't it? There could be like a landfill train, basically. And that's 6 there, isn't it? So could be like a special landfill train. Because I don't want all this landfill and assembly machines and all that sort of stuff driving around at no real point. So it'd be a double train that's like full of that. Well, this has got landfill in it. If I just need to landfill something. And then this has got, assembly machines. Drills and inserters. What else? Belt, isn't it? Belt. 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 So that's the expansion. And then if I want landfill, I'd need 2 of them, wouldn't I? Well, we could get rid of all of these then. Oh, I'll tweak it like that. Maybe that's then. Go -7 for now. Wait, have I just accidentally completely deleted? Hmm. I think if I, so I think if we have one that has landfill on it, and like all of these bits. Oh, it's interesting it does it that way. I never knew that. So if it has, say, that, and that. So this is my signal for just turning that on. But then I can have a separate landfill train. So these would all be the landfills. Let's make them stack filters just in case, but I'm only really doing landfill. Oops. Does that need to be? Needs to be. It's say half a train's worth is 2,000. Yeah. So. Oops. Not 20,000. And then these. Because I'm now thinking, and that the other train, you know, that is the other build stuff. And then just be a triple header. So that it's just in line with road building. And then we've got 6 things here. So we've got the mining drills, assembly machines, the read inserters, outs, done that wrong thing, 1, outs, splitters, so that was thing, splitters, and these green. Go on. Assembly machines. Mining drills. I should do another basics playthrough. I've never really just done a very simple playthrough. And then just sort of explain how I do some of these things. I mean, I usually prattle on about it in actual streams. But, yeah, I don't think I've ever really done a proper, you know, basic playthrough. I was going to do it as a video series, but we get into my whole 200. I never know what's a reasonable number of miners. Yeah, we get into my whole sort of... So what's a sort of halfway decent sort of patch in this? Because this wouldn't be... If I was doing a mega base, I'd obviously do bigger patches with more resources. If this was, say... Oops. I don't know why I did that when I've got a perfectly serviceable blueprint. Where's it gone? There it is. That one. I'm just trying to get a feel for how many miners I should put in. If I'm mining up a stone patch, for example, it's kind of a bit more covered, I think. So if this is a nondescript, you see that's got 210. And it's not a big patch. So let's put it on 400. And then... But these I wouldn't need a lot. This would just be one stack. 50 of them. Again, oh, we would need quite a few of them. I guess if we got 50 of the things, then maybe we'd end up needing... Oops. Let's do 4 to 1, 200. Belts then, load of belts. How many belts have I put on there? Where the heck is it? How many belts is there then? 441. So 500 belt. And I doubled that, so this needs to be like 1,000 belt. So these, it's a single stack job, isn't it? And then you demonstrated a need for them. Single stack it. So, what numbers did I create? I did 400. So if we take it as 390, and then let's do it 40. 200, 790, say. This was 1,000, so oops. 100. 40. Okay. Landfill though. I said. Oh, I thought I said. Huh. Set that already. Nope, it's not. 2,000, so we want this signal to be like minus 1,800 or something. So, connect. These up. So connect that to there. And then that across to there. That input there. Make those two. This on here. I think I need some sort of intermediary. Is it a decider combinator? And what does it decide? What does it decide? How did I actually do these? Outputting 1, okay. If the condition is true. So if we have the same condition... Oh, but we want 2, don't we? Because we want... We want 1 for the bits there. Maybe that these go turned round. So I can then put a like super decider. Well, this. Do I have one for? I'm gonna have to have one for both, aren't I? I think I've made the same error I made before because I can't do this while I'm doing it. Because they're separate. Trains. Because this train and this train are different. I can't control 2. Don't think. So in other words, if there's a signal coming out of here, even if it's going via another intermediary, and one there, and they're both going to output things, aren't they? And I can't switch this over. I mean, you might be able to. Able to say was into train. I don't know. I don't think there's a way of changing the names with the network. But yeah. It wouldn't know. Basically, it would open this station. But it wouldn't know which it's sending. Because this station has the same name, and it's just whether it's sending one or the other. I could do that whole thing where you send the signals back to the whole thing, but it's a lot of faffing around. Because you can basically enable or disable the actual train itself, and then it'll only send the appropriate type of train, because the other one would be disabled. But of course, if both are on separate systems, I'm expanding, say, east as well as west type of thing, or east and north, both types of station could be open, requesting both types of train. So, what I'm saying, essentially, is that I would need a station here. Whoops. To do another train. Which I think is okay. I don't think it needs to... Because that would be the train for that one. So this is... landfill. And this is expansion. Doesn't know which way round it is, but... does mean I'm going to need more blooming signals on there. So don't go crashing into each other. Yeah, this train then is full of landfill, and we need loads, don't we? So I guess a couple of stacks of that. Is it 400 now? And oh, that's a good number. So 400. Well, let's do that. So 450, 200,000. Yeah, so we want like 8 of them, and 190 seems a lot now. So 6 and 8. That. Guess 2 of them. 2 of them. Just 2, 4. So it's a bit less on that, in fact. So that's 200, isn't it? Yeah, let's just do a stack of each of those. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 somehow. I suppose, because we know we got some use. Well, okay. It's a green colour. What does this end up like? I guess this is back to being a 1-2 train again. Definitely the station, I'm not sure. Well, it could be a 1-3. Which it probably should be a 1-3. Except that that can't be... can't unload there. So we'd have 6... Well, I mean, I could always put something in here, couldn't I? Unload in there. Here, just watching intently. No worries. I'll be honest, I you know, I say, in summer, I sort of was thinking that would be too many people watching anyway. But that misaligns that is part of the problem. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And I've got 4, 8, 12, 15. So we're going to need to put a couple here anyway. And also this signal's not going to... Oh, that moved the signal anyway. Okay, so if this is what we need to put in, which are the low volume items? I guess they're the ones up front. Just got 3 slots there, and then 5 on the others. So the lower number items should be the 2 in the back. So, for example, we want quite a lot of rail, I think, and signals. So they probably need to be at the front. But it would be more of those types of signals, I think, than chains. Yeah, I think that needs to be them. I guess I could put the stations in there. Definitely won't be very many of them. Oh no, I can't put 4 things in, can I? I've got 3 slots. I don't. You can do things where you smart switch them on rubbish and that sort of stuff. Circuit networks is a bit beyond me. So I guess we can use this as more like low volume items. So because we've got station 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh no, I've got 2 on this side as well then, haven't I? So I want 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 items in the middle one. And given what it is, I think maybe we want the military type stuff in here. It's sort of thematically similar. So if we have that, and that. And then what else is going? Stations. And I guess we could put the combinators and stuff in here. So that's 6. What am I left with? I'm left with the power poles, the different types of inserters, and robots. Put robots in here. 2, 4, 6, 7. Is that right? Or is it 8? 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 in that one. And 5 in that one. So, got the yellows, the white, the purple, and the power poles. The yellows, the white, purple, power poles. Stations, combinators and roboports. Stations, combinators, roboports. We've got radar, artillery, gates. Radar, artillery, gates in that one. This has then got the rail and the 2 types of signal. Okay, how many do we want of each? So, gates is probably going to be higher volume. Roboports, of course, don't stack very high. But I don't think this is going to be a full carriage. Let's just do one of those. We'll do a good few of them. I think maybe 2 each of those. One of those. One of those. 2 of them. It's not very even, is it? I mean, they only stack to... Or do they? Yeah, they stack to 10. So probably would want them. Put loads of roboports in. I think that's that one done. What about you? Oh, we're going to want lots and lots of big power poles. Quite a lot of all of them, actually. Just so that we can build it up. So, I don't know. 4 each of them, maybe? And substations I'm sort of guessing that I'm going to need. I haven't built them into any design yet. Oh, that's a point. Don't they need to be in... I guess I could build it without. It doesn't have roboports though. What's the point of making landfill if we've no way of putting it in? I think roboports are going to have to be in both of these. What we can do is we can make this one. My husband just called me. He even said, "You're watching that photo stream right now, aren't you?" Cool. Oh, bum! It's 9:10. I have completely lost track of time. Got completely lost then. So, need to end. Roboports. That signal. That's 20. That's only 20. Let's be that minus 15. And this needs a couple of stacks of roboports in. There we go. Yeah, we'll pick this up in, well, I guess it'll be 2 weeks now. But yeah, it's time to go. Oh, racking today. I'll try and fiddle about with the setting, because it's chopping off my head and stuff, because the camera's in a different position. So I've been fiddling about with the furniture today. So I'll try and get that sorted, but no guarantees. It might be next week. So I could be disappearing off the corners. It's also a lot closer to me. I don't know how I ended up doing that, but anyway. The basic thing is for the next, what would it be, like month or so, is going to be the same regular schedule, which will be Factorios on Saturdays and Stardew Valley on Sundays. We will pick up next week will be the aesthetic series again for Factorio. We're still working on the oil refiner, aren't we? And nearly done with that. We might end up finishing that next time. I say that, I mean, I spent ages on doing coal liquefaction, didn't I? So actually that's probably several streams before that's done. It's just ridiculous, that series. I don't know how I'm ever going to finish it. And then we'll be back with this in a month's time. No, sorry, in a fortnight's time. Stardew Valley tomorrow. I know it's not very popular, and I know no one's really watching it, but I just want to keep going with it. Basically, it's a good thing to fill in until my little break in September, and after that, I say the plan is to do Tectonic and start Angels because there's still no word on the Factorio expansion. So yeah, that's the schedule of upcoming streams for this summer up till the autumn. If you want to catch up with any of my stuff, then I have a YouTube channel there, and it has all of the VODs for all of my series. So loads of different Factorio series, Dyson Sphere program, Satisfactory, and Stardew Valley, I guess, and a few random other things. Yeah, so I think that's everything. I will be back tomorrow at 3 o'clock British Summer Time. And yeah, catch my YouTube channel. So yeah, if you have been watching, I hope you enjoyed it. You might consider coming back for another. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Factorio. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Find my button now.